An absolutely jaw-dropping example of, I mean, maybe the prettiest Mathewson production that exists in our market today. I have a personal love for Christy Mathewson, his brand, what he represented to the game of baseball, especially at the turn of the century, and what the game felt like back then. But over here as a T3, the turkey red is the checklist back variation. It's just one of the more beautiful examples that depicts him, and I think that generally is true for a lot of the T3s. I mean, this oversized cabinet issue was sure an outlier for the day, but because of the size, to see one in this level of preservation is just unheard of. It's just unbelievably well conditioned, very little signs of circulation. They just don't come looking like this. Creases and tears and paper loss and staining, and I mean just everything under the sun. It's a fairly fragile production. There's a lot of very subtle paper flaws and things that usually plague the issue. So offered here is just a museum piece. It's easily the best copy we've ever seen. It's a recipient of our A designation, so it's not just that it's high grade, but we think it's actually pretty stunning for within that EXMT assessment. We'll do some scanning of the periphery, but overall it just has a look and a feel that you just can't replace. Absolutely stunning. Trying to zoom in here on the technical aspects of it. The corners and the edges are, I mean, as close to perfect as I think you can get for the issue. I mean, there's the occasional near mint or slightly better example that will surface, but it's, I mean, you can go a long time before you see one that's better than this. The edges are without noticeable, dings or flaws. This lower right-hand corner is probably the weakest. It's got just it's got the wear obviously to the enamel, and then there's just the subtlest little line here at the extreme corner tip. Short of that, I think the card would have graded even higher, which is staggering to say. The back is extremely clean. Corners and edges, again, very similar to the front. This card just almost doesn't have circulation signs. It's just incredible. Very little bit bump to that edge. And this is the quote unquote weakest corner. You can see that very faint line sort of at the extreme tip here, just a very tiny little extreme corner crease there. But short of that, I mean, I think the card could have graded a 7 or better. It's got attributes that are just off the charts. And if you're in the market for the absolute best of the best, this checks every box imaginable. Wait a lifetime to find a better copy. So we're delighted to have in the auction and wish the investors the best of luck with the bidding.